they are treated more favorably than we are. That is, we are immediately told in a conflict if they point a weapon at you. In other words, do not engage in the conflict, take no measures.
Russian Telegram channels started spreading information that Bashar Assad was allegedly poisoned in Russia on Sunday. He survived and is doing fine, but so far it is unclear how the poison got to him. Assad fled to Russia when his regime in Syria fell. It is reported that on Sunday, Assad complained he was not feeling well, had trouble breathing, and then had a severe cough, followed by a headache and a stomachache. Doctors were able to stabilize his condition, but reportedly received orders not to bring him to hospitals and treat Assad at home. According to Russian Telegram channels, his tests showed that a poisonous substance was present in Assad's body, but there is no information how it could have happened. Reportedly, top Russian authorities, including Putin's aide Patrushev, were informed about the situation. Koreans came to the Russian land to defend it. They didn't immediately realize where they had come to and why. According to a captured Russian soldier, North Koreans fighting in Russia get supplies, ammo, and uniforms Russians don't have. Moreover, Russians were told that in case a Korean pointed guns at them, they shouldn't engage in combat or take any action.
Koreans came to Russian land to defend it. It's unclear why and how. If there is equipment, ammunition, and everything for them somewhere, why not give it to us when we don't have it? They are treated more favorably than we are. That is, we are immediately told in a conflict if they point a weapon at you. In other words, do not engage in the conflict, take no measures. There were instances of shooting toward us at our guys, but it seems without any fatalities. I understood that they didn't immediately realize where they had come to and why. And I think it took them a couple of days to understand where they ended up. There are a lot of them, I gather, wounded. I don't know about killed, but yes, they were wounded. Yes, there was already such activity. They're not visible anymore. I mean, yes, they're somewhere, maybe in dugouts, in the trenches, but there's no activity.
North Korean soldiers got drunk on New Year's Eve, and Russia is lying about their losses. Reports Ukrainian intelligence. The HUR reports that incidents of alcohol abuse were recorded among North Korean soldiers on New Year's Eve, including those involved in combat operations. According to intelligence, lower-ranking commanders are falsifying reports to higher command about the actual losses among North Korean troops. The morale of North Korean soldiers has plummeted. They are constantly subjected to Russian military propaganda about the great significance of the North Korean army's involvement in the war against Ukraine. On New Year's Eve, incidents of alcohol abuse were recorded among North Korean soldiers, including those engaged in combat operations, intelligence reports. A new anti-record. Over the past year, Russia has lost troops equivalent to nearly 36 motorized rifle divisions. The largest losses for both the year and the entire duration of the full-scale war were recorded in December: 48,670 Russian soldiers. Additionally, the following equipment was destroyed or damaged over the year: 3,689 tanks, approximately 119 tank battalions, 8,956 armored combat vehicles, more than 37 motorized rifle divisions, 13,050 artillery systems, enough to equip 725 artillery battalions. 30 years ago, on December 31st, 1994 to January 1st, 1995, Chechen resistance fighters delivered a significant defeat to the Russian army during the Battle of Grozny. In the initial days of intense urban combat, Russian forces suffered substantial losses, including over 1,000 soldiers killed and missing, and more than 2,000 wounded. The Russian assault involved over 15,000 personnel, 195 tanks, more than 500 infantry fighting vehicles and armored personnel carriers, and over 200 artillery pieces and mortars supported by attack aircraft and helicopters. They faced approximately 3,500 Chechen fighters who had prepared a layered defense in anticipation of the attack. The operation was marred by inadequate planning and leadership. Russian troops entered Grozny without engaging, leading to congestion in the streets and making them vulnerable to ambushes by the well-prepared Chechen defenders. A particularly devastating loss occurred with the 131st Maikop Motor Rifle Brigade. Tasked with seizing the central railway station, they were ambushed by Chechen forces. By January 3rd, the brigade had lost nearly 800 men, including almost all of their officers, and the majority of their armored vehicles. The lessons of that assault were not learned. The senseless carnage laid the groundwork for further conflicts, and Russia has once again become mired in a horrifying war, but now against a far more formidable opponent. Defenders destroyed a nest of Russian drone operators in southern Ukraine. Ukrainian forces first identified the launch site of Russian Krylo drones. Following this, the defenders adjusted fire and ultimately obliterated the nest of Russian drone operators. Gas transit from Russia through Ukraine has been halted, stated the Ukrainian Ministry of Energy. As of 7 a.m. January 1st, Ukraine stopped transporting Russian natural gas across its territory in the interest of national security. International partners have been officially informed. Slovak Prime Minister Fico, which is the newest Putin lapdog in Europe, criticized the halt of Russian gas transit through Ukraine, claiming it will have dramatic consequences for the EU, but not for Russia. He also stated that in 2025, his dual-track policy will focus on global engagement, respect for international law, and non-interference in other nations' affairs. He didn't mention anything about invading other countries, though. Gas, heating, and hot water supplies in Transnistria have been cut off due to the halt of Russian gas deliveries, reports Tiraspol Transgaz Pridnestrovi. Moldova's government also announced that by January 2025, most of its electricity will come from Romania, with the rest from local renewable and thermal power sources. Transnistria is a breakaway region in Moldova, largely unrecognized by the international community. It declared independence in 1990, but has not been recognized by any UN member states, including Russia, which provides political, military, and economic support. The region remains heavily influenced by Russia, with a Russian military presence. Zelensky. When Putin was handed power over 25 years ago, 130+ billion cubic meters of gas flowed annually through Ukraine to Europe. Today, Russian gas transit is at zero. Weaponizing energy and blackmailing partners have cost Russia its most accessible market. Europe adapted, and now our task is to support Moldova's energy transformation and resist certain European politicians clinging to shady deals with Moscow. The more gas from true partners like the US, the faster Europe will overcome its energy dependence on Russia.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.